Well, right now we're going to kick things off with Series Fest because it's happening right now, right here in Denver, celebrating television in every single way with stars, showings, panels, experiences. Now, one of those stars is right here in studio to talk about a very exciting project getting accolades across the country. It is my pleasure to welcome Jocko. You may recognize him from the new hit series New Amsterdam. Is the creator, writer, and director of Grown, which showed Sunday night at Series Fest. Jocko, welcome to Coco.
It is good to be back here. Good to be back in Colorado. Good to be back at Series Fest. And that was a great intro. Thank you so much.
We had a lot to say about you, right? You're quite the man. Well, let's talk about what you're doing nowadays, because this is a big part of who you are and maybe what you've been wanting to do for quite some time. But what was your big takeaway from the showing? Now, you've had several here with Grown.
Yeah, Grown, first of all, the whole experience has just been a whirlwind. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
But here at Series Fest in particular, it's great because they just support, you know, big shows and up-and-coming artists. And even though I've been in the business for 20 years, I consider myself an up-and-coming artist because this is my directorial debut, and it's been received very well.
That is amazing. And doesn't that feel good when you kind of had probably always wanted to direct something, and here you are, and things are looking good for you?
Yeah, you know, I didn't think about getting the attention that we're getting from the film. I didn't consider that when I made it. I just wanted to make something, and it's just been so great.
Well, let's talk about Grown. What made you want to write this? Does this have anything to do with how you grew up? I mean, this follows, what, a 14-year-old and kind of his journey and with his buddies and his dad? Yeah,
I brought my very good friend and producing partner, Chaz Hazlitt. You got him mic'd up? He was not ready.
Let's bring Chaz up here. Come on up here, Chaz.
He was not expecting this, but so Chaz is an amazing hairstylist and barber, and he works with me on New Amsterdam. And I tell you what, there's no greater way I can start my day than in the mornings cracking up with him every single morning, because he'd be telling me stories from his childhood.
Yeah.
But one story he told me in particular was about the fact that he had been going to strip clubs since he was 14 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I was like, what must that have been like?
Yeah.
And I started writing this story out and tell them the rest. What happened? One day I brought you?
So, yeah, he brought me a script, threw it on the station. It was like 6 a.m. call time. And I'm like, what is this? He goes, this is your story. I want you to produce it. It's about when you used to go to strip clubs. At the time, I was going to Catholic school at the time.
Oh my goodness!
So I had to wear my school uniform and pretend I was a car salesman.
Yeah, he literally would wear his Catholic school uniform. He'd go in and tell the girls he's a car salesman, and it was like stranger than fiction. So I just put all that in the short.
Chaz, what did you say when you were approached and, hey, this story is going to kind of resemble what you were doing at that age?
I was just worried about what I was going to tell my mom.
She didn't know you were.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, oops.
No, I mean, he was in private school and religious, Catholic school, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, both my girls go to something similar. I'm going to have to keep an eye on those.
You're going to have to dig.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, for sure. What was most important to you when you were taking this film, Grown, from script to production? Because I'm sure that is very different.
Yeah, it is. I think most important to me when we're making something, and I've had the experience of being an actor for 20 years, is that you work with like-minded individuals who have the same goal in mind. They're easy to work with, and so I was already thinking ahead, like how are we going to produce this? Who are the right people to bring on board? And Chaz was the first one I went to, and also I just wanted to make sure that it was a fun story. I wanted to make sure that people had a good time, and I wanted them to experience the same thing I did when I first heard the story sitting in his barber chair.
Of course, and isn't that amazing how certain stories, certain people influence you? Yeah. It all goes into a script, and here you are. Talk to me about the cast. What was that like, picking Josiah Santiago plays your main character? What was it like working with them, and did they fulfill everything you saw in those characters?
Oh, they went beyond the Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kate Reed, who's our casting director on New Amsterdam. I took a lot of our crew members from New Amsterdam. And,
did you really?
Andy Vogley, who was our cinematographer, he did a great job. But I hit up Kate Reed, and I was hoping that she would do it because, you know, it's a self-funded project. It's a little project
Of course,
at the time.
yeah.
And she said yes, and she sent me this amazing roster of talent that I was just so excited. When I got some of the first audition tapes, I sent them to my mom. I said, they're auditioning for my pilot.
Yeah,
This is amazing.
that's so cool.
And so Josiah Santiago, he came in and just killed it as the lead actor. Josiah is great because he had been in 3 Sundance films when he was 8 and 9 years old, all in the same year. Wow. So this kid, he's grown into a nice young man, and he's very talented.
He looks like he did a phenomenal job. And again, just watching the trailer, I'm very intrigued. Now, people recognize you as Dr. Floyd Reynolds in the NBC hit medical drama New Amsterdam. And by the way, do you remember when you were here?
Yes.
I believe it's 2018, but look at this.
Man, I was a baby.
We wanted to pull this up just because we had it, and we wanted to bring it out.
Janet and Ryan, those are my friends for life.
In that
We
time,
like
Jocko,
babies.
did you think, hey, I'm going to be a director at some point? I'm going to bring Chaz on, and I'm going to meet this great person named Chaz.
I'll tell you what I didn't expect, because I've always been a creator at heart.
Yeah.
So this is a dream come true. But what I didn't expect is to be back 5 years later at Series Fest, having premiered New Amsterdam here, with like my own show.
Exactly.
So I feel like it's come full circle, and it's good to be back here.
We love it. And Chaz, you're part of all that story. So thank you again for being game to just coming on set. You two are the coolest dudes ever, I tell you.
Oh, thank
Okay, and congrats on South by Southwest as well. You are making some noise.
Oh yeah, we're just getting started.
Yes, well, all the success to the both of you. Thanks again for being with us.
Thank
you. Follow Jocko Sims and his pilot Grown at Jocko Sims. For more info about Series Fest, go to seriesfest.com. When you go there, you can learn a lot more about the film Grown, where you can catch it. It's got a great plot, and of course, learn more about Jocko Sims and everything he's up to nowadays.